Hello and welcome again to another episode of the Long Gone News of Rock Show. Today we're going to New York City, and it's not for the Ramones. We're going to talk about one of my favorite movies of all time, The Warriors. I have been obsessed with this film from the first moment I saw it. And I must have seen it early 80s. I mean, it came out in 79, and immediately I was hooked. This movie is just phenomenal. I quickly became obsessed with it. Like, I taped it off the TV one night, and I had that on VHS for a little bit. And then I saw a version of it in the cinema, like one of those Botanical Gardens viewings or something like that, I think it was. I mean, it got it on DVD, and I haven't upgraded to the Blu-ray yet. I know there is a really good Blu-ray out there, and I've been meaning to get it because I do want to see this 4K version of this film. Apparently, it looks amazing. So that I'm curious about. So here is the soundtrack, and I love this soundtrack. I think this soundtrack is fantastic. The songs work so well with what you're seeing on screen. There is the back cover there. You can see the cast there of the film, and I just love this artwork. I really do. I think the artwork just looks awesome. The inner sleeve is really cool. So you've got all the credits there and a picture of Swan and Mercy. And then we have this photo collage here, which is just awesome. And yeah, it's gives you a look at different gangs that they're going up against. There's the Turnbull ACs and there is the Baseball Furies. Really, really cool. I love this soundtrack, man. Like, this soundtrack is so good. When they meet the girl gang, the Lizzies, there's a really cool Genya Raven song on there called Love is a Fire. I love that song. Such a bitchin' tune. The song Nowhere to Run seems to work so perfect at the time, because for those who have never seen the film, I'll quickly give you a rundown of it. The Warriors are set in New York City. The Warriors have their own turf in Coney Island. And basically, all parts of New York are run by specific gangs. And this guy called Cyrus wants to call a truce where all the gangs stick together and rule the city so that there's more gang members than cops. And then they will take over one borough at a time, he says.
We take over one borough at a time.
So Cyrus is the guy, and then he gets assassinated by a gang member, and then all of a sudden hell breaks loose. And then it's blamed on the Warriors, and everyone is after them. This all happens at this huge meetup, and then they got to make all their way back to Coney Island. They got to bop their way back, which basically means they've got to fight whoever gets in their way. It's one hell of a ride. And so, yeah, we follow the Warriors as they try and get their way back to Coney. And I feel that this film was cast really well. It looks really gritty and cool too. Like, it's cool to see New York City from 1979. Like, the place just looks run down and looks kind of like, scarce. Like, there's nobody on the streets or anything like that. So it's really interesting to see, the Warriors film for not just the great storyline, but aesthetically, just to see how it looks. I like it. It's a captured moment in time. It's really, really cool. So over the years, the Warriors has started to get this massive cult following. It's always been a cult classic, but I think it's really become a popular cult classic within the last couple of decades. The soundtrack is really cool. Like, it's a perfect soundtrack. Whoever organized this soundtrack did a really good job of it. I mean, they've got Desmond Child is on here, Genya Raven, Joe Walsh, etc. But it just really works with the visuals that you see on screen. Like, every song on this soundtrack is so well put together with the visuals. And I love that. It's not like things are just thrown in there. Like, they really thought about this and made the songs just work. As I've explained, The Warriors is like one of my all-time favorite movies. I love this film. Me in top 3 easily. I've seen it hundreds of times. It never gets boring. So here is my original DVD of it. This is the standard theatrical cut. The version that you would have got on the VHS tape way back in the day. And I like this way better than the director's cut. I think the director's cut sucks. I really did not like the director's cut. I got the director's cut. I get what they were trying to do. It's right here. I like the slipcover at least. And then you've got this artwork here. I've got a t-shirt of that. And you've got some cool extras. The extras were the best part about this. I hated those extra scenes that they put in here, all that comic book stuff and whatever, especially at the scene where they run out of the train station and they see the Baseball Furies.
Where are they?
If you're watching this film for the very first time and that moment comes on the screen, you feel for the Warriors right then and there. Like, you know, they run out and you just see the looks and their expressions on their face like just change. Like,
Maybe we better take off.
What the hell is this? And you see the Baseball Furies there. Now, in the director's cut, they ruined it. They have this scene where they run out of the train station and then you see their face and then it changes and, you know, goes to this comic book thing that says the Baseball Furies or whatever and shows a picture. And it's just like, you've lost the shock value of it. You know what I mean? Like, it really did lose the shock value of it. And I hated that. That was my biggest pet peeve with the director's cut, was just how they ruined, I guess, the timing of it, because that timing was so perfect, the way it just flows and the way it happened and the way it's cut. It was just so well done. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the director's cut. Don't like it. I've watched it once. I can't watch it again. It just doesn't do anything for me. Theatrical cut, I'm all there. I think it's one of the greatest, like I said, it's one of the greatest movies ever. So anyway, as time has gone on, Warriors has become kind of a big deal. The first console that I'd bought since my Commodore 64 was the Xbox. And on the Xbox, they released the Warriors game. I love this game. This game is fantastic. It is so much fun. You get involved with all the gangs. It is so, so cool. I love this. And you can see on the back here, you can see pictures of the gangs and the fight scenes and stuff like that. This is a really fun game. If you can find a copy of this, grab it. It's awesome. It's really, really cool. And it comes with a cool booklet, which has got some awesome artwork in it. So if I show you this artwork, so there you go, you got the logo on the front. But check out this, right? So you go in through this booklet, and it's worth, you know, it's got lots of screenshots, obviously, but that's not what we're looking at. You got Mercy, you got the Warriors. So it tells you who all the members of the Warriors are right there with their pictures, which is really cool. Then you have the gang guides, and you've got Destroyers and the Punks, which they don't look like punks at all. You have the Lizzies and the Hi-Hats, the Savage Huns and the Jones Street Boys, Turnbull ACs and the Boppers, Hurricanes and the Orphans. How much do you love that scene with the Orphans when they disappear and then they come running after the Warriors there, and he screams out that line.
You see what you get, Warriors? You see what you get when you mess with the orphans?
So good. You got the Moon Runners and the Baseball Furies, and the Rogues and Satan's Mothers, and then of course the Riffs and the Saracens. There's another picture of Mercy. The artwork is really good in this. Like, it really looks like them. Like, so cool. Like, I love this game, man. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend you check it out. Look, there's Cyrus.
Can you dig it?
So the Warriors game, love it. If you've never played it, do yourself a favor. It's so much fun. Really, you'll have a great time playing this. So yeah, one of my favorite games of all time. My Warriors obsession doesn't end there. But here we go. Here's Swan. How cool does Swan look? Like, it's so good. And I like how he's got the pipe and the knives and the spray can so he can put up Warriors and let them know that they were there. Then we have the one and only Coochies. He's got the Molotov, which is awesome, and the spray paint. So good. Mezco Toys released this line, so yeah. Mezco Toys did an amazing job. Mezco Toys, wherever you are, thank you for these Warriors toys because they're incredible. Here we have Cleon, the leader of the Warriors, before he gets jacked, as they say, or jumped. So good. He's got the nunchucks there and the chain. It's so awesome, man. And then we have this guy. We have Luther from the Rogues. How cool is that? So he's got the gun there and the bottles, because we all know what the bottles are for. And the last two figures I have are Baseball Furies. I have the clean version of this guy. I love these figures, man. How cool are they? And you get the baseball bat and a broken baseball bat. I have the dirty version of this guy. So he's all messed up, like he's been running around in the mud or whatever, or getting thrown on the ground or whatever. So very, very cool. These figures are amazing. I have a couple more things to show you on the Warriors Obsession. So one of my friends named Amy the Conqueror, that's what we call her, she goes to like all these movie conventions, right? And she meets movie stars and whatever. Now she knows I'm a massive Warriors fan. And she got to meet David Harris, who plays Cochise, and got me this signed photo to Damo. There we go. And this has to get framed. I know I should have framed it by now. I just haven't. I'll do that this week. The last things I want to show you are these Warriors comics that I got. I got this one called Jailbreak, but I've never found the follow-up to this one. I've only got number 1, and that's it. So I've never been able to find the others for that series. But I do have the full series of the movie adaptation, which is this one. So here we go. This is the first issue of that. Very cool. The second issue. The third issue. How awesome is that art of the Baseball Fury? So good. The fourth issue. And then the fifth issue. Now, I love these comics. These comics are basically the film in comic book form. It's a complete movie adaptation. It's awesome. Love it. I'm so glad that I was able to find all 5 issues of that series. But yes, that brings us to the end of my Warriors collection. Now, if you've not seen the Warriors or you haven't watched it in quite some time, go back and check it out. It holds up. There are so many good scenes in there that me and my friends have been quoting for years. And it's just one of those films, man. It just holds up. It's so much fun. It's, it's funny. It's violent. It's a really good action movie. The stars in it, they are really good. Like I've had people tell me that they just don't like it because they says it's kind of cheesy or whatever. I don't think there's anything cheesy about it. I think this film is awesome. It is just a great action film, and I mean, it's about gangs and stuff in New York City in 1979 with a bitchin' soundtrack and a guy that keeps yelling out, "Rips! Yeah, right!" It has inspired bands like Twisted Sister for their album Come Out and Play.
Twisted Sister, come out and play.
It is just such an awesome film. And yeah, I'm so glad it's got a 4K UHD release. I really need to get on that and pick that up. I would love to see that movie in 4K. That would just be incredible. I love that film so much. So yeah, check out The Warriors if you haven't seen it in quite some time. It's still awesome. Anyway, my friends, take care of yourselves. Look after each other. I'll see you in the next video. Go watch some cool movies. Bye-bye.